Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. Today for my Simple Sunday project, I'm going to make a birthday card for my teenage nephew. And I didn't want it to look too fancy or lots of bling or anything. I just wanted it to be something that would appeal to a teenage boy. So I'm using the piece of cake and I'm also using the Sia silhouette paper. I like these bold designs and different colours, and it's not sort of girly in any way, it's just nice strong patterns. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use just a very simple fold. And what I've done is I've cut a piece of my thick Whisper White and I've just taken a little slice off one side. I want it to have this half fold here, but then with a little piece with the cake on over here. So this is my starting piece, and I've cut a piece of the Poppy Parade side that I'm just going to attach here. Just get my fast fuse. So, I like my Sundays to be a simple, quick card, and I try and keep these videos to about 10-15 minutes, just so that I know people don't always have a lot of time on the weekend to watch videos and watch YouTube, but I think sort of 10-15 minutes is a nice sort of time to take for ourselves. I've got a piece of the patterned paper that I'm going to put on the inside here. In there. There we go. Don't know how I got that. And then I'm just going to pop this on the inside. I like this very bold patterning, and I think it's one of those sort of designs that it's great for masculine cards as well. So I'll just take that little piece of string off. There. And while I'm here, I'm going to do the back of the card, because I don't want to cover this nice pattern up. I want to have my sentiment on the back. So I've cut a piece of Night of Navy that's just a little bit smaller. I think this fast fuse is coming to the end. I think that's why it's a little bit stringy. Okay, so that's going to go on there. And then I've got a little bit of Whisper White, which is the piece that I'll actually write on. I'm just going to centre that, and then I cut just a little tiny bit more of the paper that was just an offcut, and I'm just going to put it down the side so that it just ties the front and the back together. Let's pop that just down there. And then there's lots of room there for me to do my sentiment writing, and it doesn't interfere with the pattern on the front. And while I'm just working with DSP, I'm going to put a little bit of the DSP over my envelope flap and just decorate that. So let's do that, and then we can get on with the stamping and the design. I just like to put a little bit of adhesive on the back of the flap, and then I'm just going to match this up so that it just goes right up to the end. And then with my scissors, I just cut this little bit off. And usually the bigger pieces of DSP, like this piece, I will save and take into preschool. And the children just love if we stamp out images or if we're sort of punching little pieces. They love the bright colours. So I will just save that. I'll probably use my circle punch and cut a circle with it. So there we are, that's our envelope decorated as well. If you wanted, you could always put a little piece of DSP down the front, or you could stamp an image, but I'm just doing the little envelope flap at the back. Okay, now let's get on with the stamping. I'm going to use the punch and the birthday cake stamps, and I've found that the easiest way to line them up so that you can cut it out all in one go is to actually oh, I don't want that. Yeah, I do want that piece. I'll just use this as a template, is to actually punch. Okay, and that gives you the shape that you're going to need. We don't need the pieces that punched out. I think my punch might need sharpening. I was using it a lot over the last few weeks to make cards ready for my craft sale. I think it might just need sharpening. Okay, and then what I do is I get the two pieces. Now this, you can tell, is the cake stand. So I get the cake stand piece and I just push it into that space. And then I do the same with the cake shape. It doesn't matter, you know, which of the pieces you use, they're all exactly the same size. And then, oops, what I'll do is I'll lay it onto my stamp block. Let me just do that one again. That one's nice and level and neat. So let's put this piece in. Just like that. And then I take the template off and I'll ink this up and just stamp it out. I'll show you a piece here that I've already done. And then when you put the punch in, you know that it's going to fit in those spaces, and you don't have to worry about, you know, oh, where should that have been, or oh, it's a little bit out, it's chopped a little bit of the cake off. That's just the easiest way to work out where to punch those. And I have already punched my pieces because for this one I wanted a different colour for the cake stand. And for my little piece of cake here, what I did was I coloured it with my blends, and then I went over the icing part with my fine tip glue, because when that dries, it dries shiny. So it almost looks like there's a shiny icing on there. You could also use the crystal shimmery effects that's in the holiday catalogue, the one with a little bit of glitter. That would look really pretty because it would just sort of glisten a little bit more. But I've done mine with my fine tip glue pen. It takes a long time to dry, so make sure you give yourself plenty of time after this has been applied before you start to use it or stick it on anything, because it's really easy to get your finger stuck in it. And just ask me how I know. The last piece may have had my finger and part of my sweater stuck into it. So, okay, and then what I did was I took my rectangles, the stitched edge ones, and I just cut out, you remember that piece of card we took off here? I just cut out a rectangle. Let me see, is that one? Nope, next one. Let's get the next one. I just cut the rectangle out. So I'm not wasting that piece of card. I am still using it, but I'm not using any extra for it. So I just cut it out with that. And then with the next rectangle up, I cut a piece of the Night of Navy. And that way I know that they're going to coordinate and the sizings are going to be perfect. So let's pop those back on. If you don't have these, you can just cut a piece of card using your paper trimmer, or if you have the squares or the ovals, that would work as well. Okay. So I now have my larger size piece of Night of Navy and my white, and I used just the happy birthday sentiment from here. I just stamped that in Night of Navy so that it went with the colour of the card and the colour of the cake. I'll just make sure that this is in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to put the little cake stand on. I'm just going to glue that one flat. But the cake, I'm going to put a little dimensional behind it, just to make it pop off the card a tiny bit. And although this is going in the mail, it's not going to be much thicker or anything. It isn't going to go into the next price bracket for mailing. And it's not going to get too squashed or poke through the envelope or anything like a pearl or a rhinestone might do. Okay, so there we are. And just attach that there. And then I'm going to get my cake and my dimensionals. If you wanted to pop this up as well, you could just cut one of your dimensionals in half and no, that would fit. I think I'm going to put, oopsie, I think I'm going to just cut my dimensional in half and put half at each side, just so that it doesn't sink down at the sides. There we go. Take the backings off. No, the backing doesn't want to come off. There we go. And I'm just going to put that just on there, so that it looks like it's sitting on the plate. And then I'm going to attach this here. Now, if you didn't have this on dimensionals, you could put this piece raised on dimensionals, but I'm actually going to put it flat so that I've only got a little bit of depth going into the envelope and through the mail. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down here, probably just 2 rows of my fast fuse. And then I'm just going to make sure it's sort of centered on the card. You've got an even amount at the left and the right, and top and bottom. There we are. Now, if you wanted to, you could always put some bling on there. You could put some of the little pearls, the metallic pearls on. I've got the gold ones here just on my desk, but you could put a few on there, or the silver ones. Nothing too bright and shiny for my teenage nephew though. So there we are, that's my sweet and simple little card ready for my nephew's birthday, and just a quick and easy design. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and that you'll have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and have a wonderful week until I see you on Wednesday, when it's our video collaboration group videos for the first Wednesday of the month. So I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.